So my name is Felipe. I am head of operations at You Can Event, and today I'll be talking about how we pivot with during COVID-19 and what we did to help local economies and governments to support their own economies. So here's the thing: we are a startup company, and we were basically a marketplace for event services, in-person events, right? We used to be the one-stop shop that every event organizer goes to host an event. And then we had COVID-19 that basically canceled all of our events and all our streams of revenue. So we were pretty low in cash at the time. I mean, month ago. And I remember walking away from a deal that we were working on for, I don't know, a month or so, and it would give us enough cash to survive until we raise money and so on and so forth. And then COVID-19 happened, all events canceled, and the deal was done. So we thought, okay, so what do we do next, right? And there is something I find very, very important in every company, and especially startups, is it's all about mindset. We're all basically our company represent us. So we remember about not giving up and never giving up and always looking for opportunities even when it seems to be impossible. Imagine an event company during COVID-19, social distancing, and so on and so forth. So we basically start looking outside of ourselves and trying to find what could we do not only to survive but to also provide people a platform to prosper during crisis, because we're not talking only about events here. We're talking about the retail industry, the entertainment industry, and that has a pretty, imagine just in the US the event industry has a 1.07 trillion dollars. And we just start thinking, how can we help our partners? So the, this where everything got interesting. We had a technology, and there was a virtual reality technology we used to use for our own clients, just to lay out the room, all the details, all the furniture, the catering, and everything you want to do. So you do in virtual reality first, and then you execute in real life, right? So NASA did this with us. Growth Marketing Conference did it with us. A few companies here and there used to use our technology, and we're not even using it anymore because it was a little bit expensive. And we just thought about this. So what if we can leverage this technology to not only make the company survive, but also allow people to prosper during this crisis? And we decided to go all in, just go all in. We changed all of our developers to focus on VR. We got to Unreal Technologies and so on and so forth. And we made a pretty harsh decision where we changed all our business model that we've been working on for 3 years, especially in terms of operations, go to market strategy, or sales cycle, pricing. The whole company structure changed in a week. So we just shift, and we were like, hey, so how can we help? Like, how can we, basically company solves problems, right? And that's how our streams of revenue come in. So we thought, how can we help? And with this all-in mentality, how can we help? How can we be a service? Thinking outside of our own bubble, outside of our own problem, we just decided that we're gonna improve our technology and make this interactive and make this that will simulate virtually an in-person event. So when we simulate this, and when we, I'm sorry, I'm just admitting someone here. Okay, cool. So when we did that, it was pretty challenging, not only because of the business model, but also the whole technology behind it. It's crazy when you change your product, right? We decided to go to three industries, and those were events, entertainment, and retail. And how could we, because once you find that what you have people want, and that not only people want, but you also have the opportunity to create a huge social impact, that's a game changer. It changed my perspective about my company, but also about what we were doing. It was like, damn, everyone is getting laid off, no events anymore. Brands invested a lot of money on events that they cannot go anymore. Therefore, people will not see their brands. Retail stores, they're all closed. Entertainers, artists, musicians, and everything else, they cannot perform anymore. Events, I remember San Francisco, we were based in San Francisco, right? San Francisco mayor said that no 50, uh, no groups with more than 50 people would be able to gather. And then that changed because people can no longer leave their own homes. And we just decided to go all in. So with that mentality, and I keep coming back to the mindset, right? Where it's about looking outside, looking for opportunities, and never giving up. We were able to host, to have clients, and to have such huge, um, not only talking about sales is a metric, right? So we would say increasing our pipeline because of the mentality of just serving and just being outside and just looking for opportunities. It's all about Silicon Valley. It's all about, hey, let's make the world a better place. But what does that even mean? I mean, just giving opportunity to people to bring food to their table or to have a job. So the first thing we did was to have our own partners partnering with us and trying to resell. Then we talk with companies, event companies that we're not having streams of revenue and say, hey, here's a product. What do you think? Let's work together. And it was like, yeah, let's do it. Then we talked with artists. Then we talked with retail stores. And what happened was pretty interesting. So we had a bunch of environments sold already because we don't sell events itself, we sell environments, right? And we had trade shows for more than 10,000 people where they're actually an avatar that talks to people and you can interact, you can say hey hi or a video call or chat or sit, stand up, dance, do whatever with a actually an avatar. And networking events for I don't know 150 people we had as well. And then when we went to entertainment, we're hosting now an event called Feel Real for over a million people with 200 million impressions. And that is something we're not used to it before. And without sounding opportunistic, the 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 message behind this is always to be outside of your own bubble and progress in a pace that you're always all in. You're always looking for new opportunities. You're always with the mindset that I cannot give up. I don't have anywhere to get back to. This is my life. This is my company. This is what I do. So in retail, we were that was the game changer. I believe for us was when we saw an opportunity to work with the government of Panama, and they ordered 50,000 virtual environments. And the thing was, and I think was the most important, was their reaction to it. It was like, oh my God, that can actually save our economy. That's all absolutely helpful. And us from the headquarters, we were like, wow, that's powerful. That means even though we're going through this huge crisis, there's always a possibility of being helpful, of providing a platform where people can profit, where people can still sell, where people can still host events, where people can still network. And not only talking about what they can do that they used to do it before, but now we're talking about geographic location and barriers where an event, for example, here we have, I don't know, 7 people in the room, but imagine how hard. I'm not quite sure if you guys go to conferences, but we have conferences for 700 people here in Silicon Valley, and that's pretty normal. But there are always people from the Silicon Valley. It's not easy to find people from outside of here. But when you talk about virtual, you can go to Dubai, Brazil, Italy, Portugal. You can go to Chile. You can go to wherever you want, and people from there can come to your event. So there are no geographic barriers anymore. Therefore, there are no barriers to knowledge, to networking. There are no barriers to anything else. So I do believe that even though there is a crisis, and even though there is not only about social distancing, but how it impacts economy. And we're going through a recession, a huge recession, and not even talking about we can get to financial meltdown. But even though if you stick with the right mindset, with the right, with the right, basically the right mindset, you can just provide people a platform where they can just grow. So with Panama, we did that, and then we went to Dolce Gabbana with art galleries, and I mean, I love art. So when you also can provide art to people because of a platform where people can no longer go to art galleries, that's amazing. So here's the thing, and people ask us a lot of times, like, what about in-person events, or what about the like, and what about when this is over? And that's where things also get interesting. Is like we're not a, we're completely forward with in-person events, and that's what we want to get. That's our company, that's our purpose, is connecting the world through celebration. So we created something hybrid where you can host online, you can test, and then if it works, it worked, you execute in real life. If it doesn't work, you change, we design it again, we change the approach, and then we execute it again and execute in real life. So providing to people this platform was our purpose. And even though there is a crisis, there's always an opportunity out there for you to be helpful and actually have a social impact. So with that in mind, and with the economy and with the social distancing, there is a huge change of behavior in people. So for example, if you go outside here in San Francisco, people will change the sidewalk to not pass close to you. And that means that, like China, and people, I read about this, people are not just going to malls. Like people are just scared of it. So within a change of behavior, it will happen a change of tools, a change of methods. And we do believe that this is important to society to keep up with with connecting to human beings. It's not only about Zoom calls, it's not only about that, but it's about basically feeling it, interacting to it. And it will take some time for us to get back to what is normal, what is considered normal today, right? And we want to be there, and we want to support this transition back to real life, and that's what we progressing to or going towards. Does anyone have any question? Yeah, I guess not. So that was what I had to say, and our purpose as economy. If anyone wants to know more about us, it's just youcanevent.com, and we'll be very happy to help you all. Thank you.